Hey YouTube, so I'm just gonna give a little quick guide on PermissionsEx. And so basically I'll post a link for the latest version. Right now it's 1.18, and once you download that you get a little zip file with these four things. PermissionsEx is the actual plugin itself. Permissions is the compatibility layer. Modify World I'll show you in a little bit, and Chat Managers is just a simple chat little program. I don't use it, I just use Hero Chat instead. It's very simple to configure, but I won't use it in this tutorial. So I'm just gonna make a little folder called plugins, drag everything in here, and that's it. Okay, so I'm just gonna download the latest craft bucket jar. There's been numerous updates so far because some stuff they didn't do correctly, etc, etc. Right now it's 1.1R3. Okay, so I'm gonna keep the file. Okay, so I'm just going to put this in here, and of course we want to go through the process of creating a run file. New file. So I have Java 7. I'll also give a link to my creating a bucket server tutorial. 6. Save this as. You can take a look at that one. It's pretty quick. Desktop permission packs. PX stands for PermissionsEx also. Run.bat. All types. Okay. And I'm going to just copy my old world because I don't want to spend too much time, creating the generated world. Okay, so let's run it. Some stuff will be created because it's the first time, as you can see. Other stuff is loaded, modify world, etc, etc. Now, one thing I want to say about PermissionsEx first is that it doesn't exactly support super perms fully. bpermissions does, which is why I'd recommend bpermissions, but use whatever you feel is comfortable. So now you have this. Now we're going to go into modify world, then configuration, and we're going to put inform players as true, so we want them to know that they don't have permission, and then enable to true. And you can do this stuff like I guess sorry bucko, I don't know. Okay, so whatever you want to put there. I'm gonna go into PermissionsEx. Now I have config and permissions. So you log players, you don't need to do that, but make sure backend is set to file unless you know exactly how to use MySQL. And parents node true, enable true, strict mode. Well, yeah, this is fine at the moment. It doesn't, like when I use 1.17 developers for PermissionsEx, it didn't use parent nodes exactly, and it adds a star, some stuff like it can break super permissions, which is the built-in permissions system. So yeah, isn't the best. So I already have a preset permissions file when I used bpermissions before, and I will put this there. But basically, I'm just going to explain it a little to you guys. So in bpermissions, you can also see a guide on that. I'll post it. I'll put the link there. And so basically, users, no spaces. Also you want to go to settings, preferences, language menu tab, and say replace by space, and close it. So if you do tabs, it won't like screw up. Yeah, so just like that. So users has no spaces, and then this is a whole tab, 4 spaces, and then the username, then another 4 spaces, as you can see, group, and then admins. And you can also do prefix, like prefix nub whatever. Yeah. Okay, and then so that's basically it. This is me. This is me right here. These are my two friends. So let's go to the top, and you want to put groups as no spaces. Then this is a tab. This is a tab. Our groups will be tabs, one tab, and then the prefix will be just like this, which is 4 spaces after. And you want to set it prefix then colon, then this, then the color codes. I'll post a link to that in the description of how to make the color codes. And then I put a space here, so the so like if you do like arrows to the knee, right, and then the prefix is owner. If you don't put a space, it would just be like that. But if you do put a space there, right there, this here, then there will be a space here, and it will be just like this. If there is no space, it will be like that. Okay. And then the permissions will be a tab after the group. Then this is a negation node. It's a minus instead of a caret in B permissions, like B permissions the admin, but that's not for PermissionsEx. And so forth. So and PermissionsEx has a star, this star node, just like that. This, then the star, like that, asterisk, star, you know. And options, just like the spacing, you want to put rank, which is like, okay, let's say you're in 2 groups because you don't need inheritance, but you basically want you want someone to be in 2 groups so they have all the nodes from those groups. And so basically you want oh, sorry, this is wrong, actually. Well, no, actually it kind of is. But when you promote someone in PermissionsEx, you will promote them, and you can't promote them to 0 because that's the highest, and you can't promote them to 0. And so, like, they'll go up by the numbers. Well, I mean, they'll go up by how low the number is. So, if someone was on member and I promoted them, they would be VIP. Except maybe there's something in the middle of that. No, there isn't. Okay. So that's basically it. And you can also do inheritance, and then you just put it like this, and it will inherit the permissions from that group. And PermissionsEx, also the other thing is modify world. You see this modify world tag, permission, I mean. It negates modify world.mob target.star, which basically I'll post a link in the description about that too. Basically that will not allow that group to be targeted by monsters. Something useful if you're the owner and you don't want yourself to be targeted, or you can give them some people with specific permissions. And you can also do permissions, and then you could do how about, well, let's say you could just give them, you know, modify world dot mob target dot star. You know, you give someone specific that, and you can also give them specific prefixes and suffixes. Okay, this is a pretty short tutorial and doesn't really go really deep into what PermissionsEx can do, but I'd still prefer B permissions. But I guess thanks for watching, and see ya. Remember to subscribe and comment, like, favorite, you know, whatever. Bye.